Hi everybody, and welcome to this video for the full moon in Leo happening March 7th, 2023. So I'm going to go over the symbolism and the astrology for this full moon, and then I will move into the pick a card reading. I'll put timestamps down below for each section, and if you want to skip ahead to the pick a card, that's fine. And I'll see you in your selected pile. But we're going to begin with the astrology here. So it is happening at 22 degrees and 29 minutes of Leo at 7:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And in Vedic astrology, the lunar nakshatra where this is occurring is Purva Falguni. The name comes from the Sanskrit for early spring, or the early reddish one, indicating the color of fresh life, of new spring, sensuality, and a youthful nature. So we're just about to enter the vernal equinox on March 20th in tropical astrology, whose sign is Aries, and the ruler is a red Mars planet. But the gender of this nakshatra is feminine. The ruling planet is Venus. The third pada of this nakshatra is also ruled by Venus, focusing on creativity, peace, and relaxation. The ruling deity is Aryaman, the lord of the sun and an expansion of God. One of many sun-worshipping cultures, the sun god is known to bestow favors and fortune on its worshippers. The symbol of this nakshatra is a hammock, representing rest, rejuvenation, sex, and pleasure. The ruling planet is Venus, after all. The power of this nakshatra is to create. So Leos do rule the fifth house of creativity and children. This is a generative time of new birth and the spring. In electional astrology, also known as Muhura, nakshatras are used to determine favorable days and times for important ceremonies and events, such as weddings, buying a new house or vehicle, commencing a project, or conceiving a child. So the electional nature of Purva Falguni is Urga, meaning fierce and harsh. Purva Falguni is an excellent time for giving up bad habits, cutting off toxic relationships, quitting a job, any destructive act, such as weeding or demolition, performing vows or retreats, such as a day of silence, or doing any kind of detox or cleanse. And then moving on to the Sabian symbol at 23 degrees Leo, because you always read the symbol, you round up the degree, basically. So it is, in a circus, the bareback rider displays her dangerous skill. I could make a joke here, but I'd rather you figure it out on your own, given all the symbolism of fertility that we just went over, and Venus and being love. Anyway, the keynote here is actually the audacity and perseverance required to control and play with the powerful energies of the vital realm in human existence. The horse has always been a symbol of the vital energies. In a wild state, the horse represents the magnificent, raw, impetus energy of the libido in all its forms. When tamed, this energy is put to man's service. There are men who have dominated their natural energies so well that they can perform spectacular feats. Here these achievements are seen within the context of a social function and expressing a flair for dramatics. Well, Leos can be drama queens, and they are the sign of artists and actors and fame as a result. At this stage, the ego is in control. He is a great showman, but he serves a purpose. The performance stirs the imagination of the young consciousness. It raises the mind above the commonplace. The key word is virtuosity, meaning great artistic skill. So this full moon happening at this degree is encouraging to put your creative passions and projects into motion or on display. You never know who you might impact or inspire to create their own art. And this is, in this modern world driven by consumption, what we need is more creators. Of course, we need consumers to be successful creators, but it's becoming more commonplace for people to rely on or replace this creative essence with computers or AI, completely removing the invaluable human element from that process that defines us, being creators of our own reality or co-creating with the divine. So, astrologically, the full moon is trining Uranus. It's bringing exciting and liberating changes. Heightened intuition and self-awareness from Uranus will help you reduce tensions and restore balance in your relationships. You can pinpoint where change is needed and move quickly to adapt to changing conditions. Even minor changes in appearance, such as new clothes or a haircut, could make a difference. But with lowered inhibitions and a sense of adventure from Uranus, more significant changes in your love life and self-esteem are possible. So a few of my March readings by sign kept giving me this Sagittarian vibe of adventure, and the angel card adventure kept showing up. But perhaps this was not a nod to Sagittarius, but rather the influence of Uranus at this full moon. These 2 weeks following a full moon are good for releasing and letting go, resting, healing, regenerating, contemplating, meditating, decluttering, harvesting, pruning, and haircutting. So it's a great time for those spring cleaning adventures of your life inside and out. The lunar nakshatra also indicates a good time for detox. So the first day of spring is March 20th. The new moon is March 21st. You want to put yourself in a good position for a true new beginning. So you need to spend these next 2 weeks preparing for that. Okay, so there are 3 fixed stars closest to this full moon, or in conjunction with it. The 2 of those stars are in constellation Ursa Major, and 1 is in the tail of the Leo constellation. So Mizar is the 2nd star in the handle of the Big Dipper, Ursa Major. It's known as the double star because it appears as 1 star to the naked eye, but actually it has a smaller companion star named Alcor. In the Arabic world, they were known as the horse and rider. So here we have another reference to the horse and rider image as described in the Sabian symbol. Mizar is connected to fires of a catastrophic extent and mass calamities. Alcor, the name comes from the Arabic meaning faint one because of its dimmer magnitude than its companion Mizar. In Vedic astrology, Mizar is known as one of the 7 sages, and Alcor is his wife, symbolizing marriage and the closeness it brings to a couple. So there's emphasizing the theme of Venus and love. Venus rules the 7th house of Libra, which is of partnerships. So there could be a strengthening of a bond going on here around the full moon. So Kangguan is the star in Leo, which got its name from the Chinese, meaning the retinue or the entourage of assistants and advisors. It represents the personal assistant of the crown prince. Okay, so that kind of goes with the theme of fame and fortune in the Leo characteristics. So, all right, the tarot card associated with this full moon occurring in the 3rd decan of Leo is the 7 of Wands. The ruler of this decan is Mars. The hermetic title is Valor. The corresponding major arcana are the Tower, which is also ruled by Mars, and Strength, or Lust, in the Crowley deck, which is ruled by Leo. In the card preceding the 7 of Wands, the 6 of Wands is ruled by Jupiter, who gave gifts of fame and victory. In the 7 of Wands, Mars threatens to take that all away. So this figure is in a position of defending his title, basically, or what he has fought for. The anonymous author of the book Meditations of the Tarot, which is a Christian Gnostic text emphasizing divine authority, describes the Tower Arcanum as, quote, every man who is not a saint or a fully righteous man builds a kind of Tower of Babel, which is his own. His actions, opinions, and aspirations constitute a private world that he has built. This tower of the self duly faces divine justice, where it will be inevitably shattered. And that would be the thunderbolt of Zeus that is depicted striking the tower and destroying it. The original sin of the will, he says, is that it became infatuated with the desire to replace knowledge due to revelation with knowledge due to experimentation. So I get this sense of pride being punished as God destroyed the Tower of Babel for man thinking he could build a tower to reach heaven. Also the story of Icarus flying too close to the sun, thinking he was invincible. Viewed in this light, the 7 of Wands is an inevitable correction to the cycle of ambition that began in the 5 of Wands, competing to be the victor pictured in the 6 of Wands. Upon encountering sacred force, an older name for the strength card, our towers crumble as they were meant to all along. We can also see strength as a negotiation with the passions, passion to control, passion to surrender, and the passion to embrace, or to merge with them. Crowley viewed strength as lust, by which he meant not just physical passion, but the rapture of vigor or strength exercised. The goddess of Babylon is pictured on the lust card, who denies no one but demands all one has to give. Viewed in this context, lust and strength combined with the tower look like the climax of release. This is ecstatic gnosis, not karmic retribution. Suppose the 7 of Wands issues that final ounce of will, the cup of blood drained by Babylon as depicted in the lust card, in its last effort at a desperate breakthrough. Under that banner, all facades are shed, all last gasps tendered. The Seven of Wands could be seen as the Hail Mary pass of the tarot, a last-ditch effort at achievement. The reason behind the effort can be seen in the Strength card above the woman's head, the infinity sign. The motivation is internal endurance, a lasting legacy, or the will to carry on. Courage is not the absence of fear, but only arrives in the presence of fear. The irrational conquest of a rational fear, brought on by great adversity, is what we see in the Seven of Wands. In a book called 36 Faces, the author Austin Coppock describes the Leo 3 Decan as the banner, a symbol of a hero's invincible heart. It's interesting that the other major arcana card representing Leo, the Sun, depicts a banner flying behind the child. The banner can refer to a nation's flag, and the Seven of Wands are the individuals willing to die for what it represents, having the courage to defend those beliefs when they are challenged. When you draw the Seven of Wands, you may well find yourself facing a daunting challenge. Remind yourself of what it is you are fighting for. Is it worth the battle? Has the time at the top of the wheel passed, and should I cede it to a successor? Or is that which I am fighting for so large, so meaningful, so necessary that I'm willing to give it everything I've got and more? So this card, combined with the fixed star Mizar, which indicates fires of a catastrophic effect and mass calamities, I'm wondering if this could indicate some increase in war or fighting activities. The Seven of Wands shows the human capacity to persevere, but it does not tell you whether you are using that capacity to live your own best life. So where will your determination take you, and at what cost? Okay, that concludes the astrology and symbolism of the full moon. I'm going to go ahead and move into the pick a card reading. So you can pause the video here if you like, take a look at all three piles, see which one resonates most closely for you, and you can pick more than one if you like, but I'll put timestamps down below. All right, we'll see you in your selected piles. Thanks.